Good morning on Thursday, March 2nd. It's time for episode 188 of the 359 podcast with Alfred Eng and Ben Fox Rubin. Good morning, guys. Alfred, what the hell are you doing?
There's no 8-track port on the MacBook Air.
Oh my god, you are insufferable. This is horrible, people. I'm just glad it's Thursday. It's our last episode of the week, so...
Maybe there's a dongle.
All right, you win. You win. It's now endearing. You fought your way through that joke and ended up on top. So to that,
are we just gonna make fun of Apple dongles again today, or what?
It's whatever. I
No,
mean, like, people were interested.
As much as I'd love to make fun of Apple dongles today, we got a big day for Snapchat today.
Yeah, this is
I'm
pretty
currently
significant.
recording in the stock exchange in the other room, so I have to go review that later.
Wall Street is going haywire because there's just really like very few new tech IPOs that come out, and this is a really significant one.
This is a massive one.
Everybody knows what Snapchat is, or at least 25-year-olds know what Snapchat is.
All those 25-year-olds on the New York Stock Exchange.
Right. Yeah, there are
on
some.
The floor.
There are some of them, I guess. We'll start off with Snapchat. Send us in all your questions about that, what you think about it, whether you think it's a camera company, because that's how they're trying to sell themselves to Wall Street, which is interesting. And we'll also end with Roger's story about 5G wireless tech. There's a ton of 5G stuff that's going on at MWC right now, a lot of different demos. So we'll run through as many as we can in the 4 minutes. And that's it. Yeah, without further ado, let's kick this thing off and send in your questions and comments. We'll get to them at the end of the show.
All right, here we go for the recording in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Alfred Eng.
Snapchat's parent company went public today, kicking off a splashy IPO that raised over $3 billion for the company. So it opened at $24 a share, which was higher than its offering price of $17. And the valuation is above $24 billion, which is well over Twitter. I'm throwing out a lot of numbers here, but if anything, this really shows that people are really hungry for Snapchat shares. Try to say that 5 times fast. And, maybe this means something good for the company. Maybe they're moving places.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. They've been able to reach the millennial market in ways that Facebook and Twitter have been failing at. A lot of it is because Snapchat is temporary, and people have been moving away from the social media of Facebook and Instagram, where it's your edited life, whereas on Snapchat it's very unfiltered, where people can just get to it and just post their photos. So teens, kids, they've been flocking to Snapchat because things don't last forever there. They can hide from their parents there. And essentially, that's where the market follows, where people want ads on there now, and they're willing to pay a very high premium to get direct access to, that market.
What we have seen, though, is that the daily active user base is the growth of it is already starting to slow. It's about 158 million right now. Yeah. So it seems... Are these guys the next Facebook? I mean, are they going to get to 1 billion users?
I don't think you should be comparing them to Facebook, though, because they've got a very different, idea of what they are as a company. They're not saying that they're a social network. In their IPO, they said that they were a camera company.
Which I'm not buying.
I'm very skeptical of, but it could be what they're trying to move into, with the spectacles, with reports yesterday that they were developing kind of a drone to take photos. We've seen all these selfie drones that are out there also. That could be their next move. That might be the reason why they even had an IPO, to kind of raise more money for more hires and acquisitions.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to present themselves a little bit differently because Facebook is such a big kahuna.
Yeah.
The big danger is that they're already getting, the potential of, are these guys the next Twitter? And with Twitter, they've just... They have proven themselves to be a critical part of the social media landscape, but they're just not that valuable as a company.
I think that's what's going to happen with Snapchat. They're not going to be, Facebook, because, everyone's mom and their grandmothers and their great-grandmothers are on Facebook. It's essentially, Snapchat's not that. In the same way Twitter's kind of like a niche, like, kind of social network, I think Snapchat will be too. I think the difference is, though, Snapchat knows how to make money. Where
That's a very good
it's
point.
hard for Twitter to sell because there's not like one demographic on Twitter.
Yeah. Next, the hype about 5G wireless tech is in full display at Mobile World Congress, with Qualcomm, Intel, Samsung, and others showing off some of the early results of their R&D into 5G tech. Roger Cheng wrote a story about this today, about how the super fast speed and low latency can actually provide some really interesting things. One of them was that he performed like a demo surgery using a special glove and VR headset to do surgery remotely. I thought that was kind of cool, but I wouldn't want to get like surgery done on me from a robotic arm by a doctor that's like somewhere in Bermuda.
No, but would you want, to control a drone from far away using 5G, or, drive one of those automated cars using 5G?
Yeah, self-driving car.
I mean, surgery is one thing, but, I think the idea behind 5G is like, it's not just, hey, your phone's going to go really fast now. You're going to be able to stream this video even faster or download this Netflix show even faster. I think the prospect is now, there's way more things that you can do now that involve, drones and the Internet of Things.
Yeah. And one of them too is like more VR, is that you could potentially do like real-time live streaming chats in VR, which also opens up the possibility for that. Anyway, if you want to read more about these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
I'm Alfred Ing.
Thanks for listening.
And going right back into it, our good buddy Michael Brown in the chat. Welcome
What's
back,
up, Michael
sir.
Brown?
Welcome
Hey.
back, Mike.
He's asking, he's wondering, as you said, they're presenting themselves as a camera company, and you've mentioned like the rumors of the drone. He's wondering if they're really going to develop a legit camera type situation,
Like a camera?
like a camera, or
That
a
would
phone.
I really doubt they're going to make a phone.
They really should not make a phone.
I mean, like, it would look silly. It would look whimsical, but I really don't think that that's a good idea.
I mean, I don't think that they would be pursuing a camera, like a camera on its own, only because everyone has a camera in their pocket already. It's kind of moving it, trying to take it to the next step. That's kind of why they did the spectacles, where it's on your face. They function as glasses instead of having to take out your phone. So I don't think they want another product that you have to take out and then snap again. I think that's why the drone idea kind of makes sense for them. We've seen a lot of selfie drones at CES. And
It's
that
a good
makes sense.
point.
It's an advancement on the camera. It's not just a straight up camera.
Either
Totally.
way, everybody's kind of trying to speculate that they must have something new coming in a physical sense to justify all this.
Yes.
Like, the product is not going to just remain as this software. They're going to further develop, which is such a cliche thing to say, but now we just got to figure out what.
I mean, if anything, I think they would be pushing to develop their AR.
Yeah.
And,
we didn't even mention that on the show.
So
But
further improvement on the software.
Yeah. Well, specifically the AR software, the face tracking, and all those like filters that you're getting. I know they also played around with like forward-facing filters. I think they're going to improve on that because that's been a real big seller for them.
Yeah, and they have a potential of becoming one of the leaders. Joan Salzman wrote about that today, is that they have the potential of becoming a leader in AR because they've already been playing in that space with the app, with the spectacles. And going back to the previous point, as far as like, would they create a camera? I mean, like, cameras already exist. Phones already exist. So what are some of the things that they could add to the market that are actually different? That's where spectacles come in. That's where the drone comes in. And that's where whatever X, the next other iterations of what it is that they do could come in, where they actually provide something that's differentiated that isn't already out there, that they're not just, regurgitating a design with like a cool look to it. So
Let's walk into some dangerous territory here. Let's give stock advice.
sure.
Oh.
I used to work at the Wall Street Journal.
Amir
so
wants to
I'm-
know if you should buy stock now, and I think Michael Brown has given him some pretty good advice, saying wait until it dips back down to 17.
It's impossible to know where the stock is going to move. I mean, like, this is just like, but Michael is not wrong in that usually there is a very big pop in the beginning when everybody tries to dive into it, and there is a tendency for things to die down. We saw that with Facebook, where Facebook actually kept creeping down for a while, and people were starting to wonder if it was a dud. And there were a lot of opportunities for people to jump into it, and now it's worth way more. So patience does often pay off, but you really never know with the stock market where something is going to go. I mean, like, I've told myself that 1,000,001 times, because if I knew where the stock market was going to go, I wouldn't be doing this podcast.
I will say this about the spectacles, though, and maybe some advice for Snapchat on their next piece of hardware that they're planning on coming out with. Snapchat has always been like notorious for killing your phone battery life. Part of it being the way that the software works, but the spectacles are kind of the same story right now, where it transfers video through Bluetooth onto your phone, and like the amount of video that it takes, and it doesn't do it like as you're taking it. It's like it kind of bulk transfers all the video. So that pretty much like spells like disaster for your phone battery.
Yeah.
Which is why I've like stopped using mine like as frequently as I used to, because it used to be one of those things where, oh, I want to capture this, but what's the point of it if my phone dies from it?
So if they maintain their identity as a software service, then they're really going to want to revise and repolish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which there's an opportunity to do that. You could also perhaps jury rig Snapchat spectacles onto a Nokia 3310, which has, month-long battery life. So let's try to make that happen.
I'm pretty sure the camera on these spectacles is probably better than the Nokia 3310 like camera.
Oh, yeah,
Well, obviously.
absolutely.
I want to see
one
somebody
piece-
take a 3310 and turn it into a battery itself.
That
to
would be
power,
pretty cool.
To power your smartphone.
So
Whoa.
I do want to throw out a quick PSA. I wanted to mention this on the show. If you do plan on buying Snap Incorporated, make sure you're buying Snap Incorporated, because another stock is actually way up today, and it's Snap Interactive. The ticker symbol on that one is STVID. That is the wrong company to be buying.
That is going to get a lot of people.
You should be buying SNAP, Snap Incorporated, SNAP. They're both going up today.
This is why we have the money man on the show.
I mean, this has happened before too. You do you remember when Twitter went public?
Oh, wait a minute. Snap Interactive is now down 9%. Okay, it was up 17% before, and I guess everybody came to their senses and realized they were buying the wrong shares.
All right, the bell is rung. If people want to get stock updates, they'll go watch the exchange.
Of course.
Yeah,
We're not going to put a
best
ticker in this
advice:
show.
read carefully before you buy. I mean, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. When Twitter went public, this company called Tweeter,
I
with
remember
two
this.
E's,
Oh wow!
their stock went up by 1,800%, thanks to the people that don't read fully. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, Snap will be
That's
trading
such
under
a grandpa error to make.
what?
What stock did you buy, Grandpa? I got the tweeter.
I would not. I mean, like, people make
I was-
mistakes.
I-
Yes.
It happens.
But it's so funny because it's exactly. I mean, that I don't know about you, but I had relatives like, do you use that tweeter, the tweeter?
It makes me want to start a company that sounds very familiar, like similar to like another one of these companies, and just like wait for people to make these mistakes.
The
Ride the
art
wave.
of the ripoff, man. It's like those movies, like the Transmorphers and
No.
all those ripoff movies.
No, these sneakers are Mikey, not
Mikey.
that's my
course.
company.
Hey, if it helps us get rich quick, I'm into it. Let's do it.
Let's talk about the 5G a little bit. Could you maybe outline? A few people are kind of just curious, like, exactly what is the benefit of 5G? We get the basic; it's faster, but like, what are some other things that come out of its functionality?
I'm going to try to pull up Roger's story because he does a really good job of explaining this.
Well-
Well,
he did demo. If you go to CNET or YouTube, we've got that
He did
video
the-
of him using
The surgery with the power glove.
Right. They didn't let him actually do surgeries, thank God. But yeah, he actually did get to demo. It's really kind of neat to see for nothing more than like he looks kind of badass when he's sitting there.
absolutely. Yeah, those are some pretty cool VR specs. I'll just read this quick sentence from Roger's story. It's the combination of speed, responsiveness, and ubiquity unlocks full capabilities of other hot trends in technology, offering a boost for self-driving cars, drones, and the Internet of Things and virtual reality. And Roger's talked about this. He's kind of the 5G expert for us, and he's talked about this quite a few times on the show before, that 5G is really considered the enablement that helps all these other things actually be possible.
Sure.
And it's not just speed. It's not just the speeds and feeds things. It's about the responsiveness. It's also interesting to consider how 5G is so responsive and has such low latency that it could actually replace your home broadband. So you could be buying, instead of through Cablevision, which I have, you would be getting it through Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile, whatever, because 5G is so fast. You would just get it wirelessly.
I mean, yeah,
as
I
your
kind
broadband.
of look at 5G as like the Nintendo Switch of like internet connections, where instead of like just I have a home connection and I have a mobile connection, it's kind of like it's all just one thing where you can like take it home and then just leave with it also, and it's like relatively the same quality and speed.
Yes, it is.
I like Matthew in the chat, his logic behind the idea of letting a doctor do virtual surgery on you. He's like, well, if you get that doctor in Bermuda, he's probably going to be way more chill and like laid back and just like, yeah, I'll fix you.
It is interesting. I've heard this like whole remote surgery concept before, and I guess in very, very specific use cases, you could save lives, right? There's some guy in Bermuda or Sweden or whatever that is the expert, some
Yeah.
guy or girl that's a doctor that
I mean, you know that they're not doing the surgery, right? They're not like controlling like a robot or anything like that in the
isn't
room.
that the whole idea?
No, it's they're there so they can kind of see it like up closer, and then like they're advising people that are in the room and telling them what to do.
Wait a minute. Isn't that like, can't you already do that with Skype though? I thought the whole idea
Well,
is
it's
that like you're virtually there.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. You can't do that with Skype because it's kind of just like like a 2D camera kind of thing. VR, it's like you can look around and like look at different parts of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Roger mentioned like a robot arm. Sounds frightening, but hey.
Well, yeah, he did have that power glove. I don't know what that glove was about.
The power glove, the idea there is that it's got haptic feedback on it, and that you could literally be able to control a robot arm remotely to be doing the surgery virtually, to do it remotely. Because like if you're the super duper expert, you're like the one person that can do this globally, then yeah, they'd want you to be the person
They'd want
controlling the
robot to be
robo
person.
arm.
Yeah.
That
And
would
it's
be
easier
one.
to ship a robot than it is to transport a human sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
I love the Power Glove.
It's
so bad.
really. I mean, a lot of this stuff, I hate to say it, has a lot to do with just like form factor and the way it looks. And Roger just looks badass, set up with all this stuff. And you know, some of the other VR and AR stuff just doesn't look cool. And I think it's gonna cause people to not want to use it as much. You know, maybe HoloLens does look cool to certain people. I'm not sure, but whoever makes that VR headset, they did a good job with at least making it look very futury.
While they're discussing in the chat what new nicknames to give to you, Mr. Moneyman.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're getting close to the end here, but Michael Brown is making an off-topic request to talk about, well, one, there's speculation going on when the iPhone's going to hit and what's going to happen with the next iPhone.
Oh, okay.
But more specifically, he wants to know if we've talked about the ball that Apple dropped that YouTube and Google are picking up.
With Apple TV.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We didn't talk about Apple TV at all yesterday.
You can
Nope.
you can jump in on
because
this.
Apple
We did talk about YouTube.
Yes.
Obviously, we are very endeared by it, but yeah, we didn't talk about Apple.
Yeah, mostly because Apple TV right now isn't really its own live streaming subscription service, as opposed to just kind of like a Roku kind of deal.
Just a box.
Yeah, so really what didn't cross our minds is one of the competitors with YouTube and, Sling TV, DirecTV Now, PlayStation View. I will say, though, they probably dropped the ball by not having a live subscription service, considering that they have their own box set.
I mean, it's not like they don't have the resources.
That too. So I will definitely agree that they dropped the ball on that. And
Wait, can you guys fill me in on this? Are we talking
talked
about like
about-
Planet of the Apps or something?
no, we talked about YouTube TV yesterday.
Right.
Yes, and then he wanted to know if he missed yesterday's show, so he wanted to know if we talked about Apple TV, kind of like not, jumping on that.
I got it. All right. Thank you.
Has anyone watched Planet of the Apps? By the way, I don't
no.
have an Apple TV, so I have not. But from what I've seen, it is not good.
Is it a sitcom or what?
It's basically like Shark Tank, but for apps.
Oh, that's right. That's
With-
right.
It
With
looks
genius tech
Reality
man,
kind of game show
yeah,
thing.
with
but
genius tech entrepreneur Will.i.am.
at the very least, it looks like it's baseline good enough reality television. Carpool Karaoke may be a bigger hit because Carpool Karaoke has been like huge on YouTube. So we'll see if it's like going to
We
be a
love
regular
Carpool Karaoke.
series. Oh
no,
yeah,
you know what we need though?
we need to do a disclosure on
Yeah,
that.
live on CBS
Live on CBS, which is also our owner.
with James
Yeah.
Corden.
Right, watch the show all the time.
It's okay to be a fan of something that exists on your own network.
We love you, Les
Sometimes
Moonbees.
What we really need is a reality game show, Planet of the App style, with Elon Musk though, where he's getting and like he brings in like Bill Nye as guest judges, and they try to get kids to like literal kids, like college kids, to battle for tuition by developing software or hardware, any number of scientific type things, engineering type things.
I love this idea.
I would watch the crap out of that.
That would
and
be
then like
totally.
Adam Savage comes in and he tries to like like he's the Tim Gunn to their to like
This is a
what
really good
Project
idea.
Runway kind
Whoa.
of thing.
Yeah, I can't believe you're giving away this like $1 million idea live on air.
Yeah.
Last Moonbats, like where are you? All right. That's probably a good place to end it for today.
Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us today. The 359 podcast is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, Google Play Music, and
Guys, it's available on CNET.com.
Of course. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday, and have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.